Welcome back to Boca Raton, Florida, where the Ag Retailers Conference is wrapping up now. And each year here at this conference, some major awards are presented, one of them being the Retailer of the Year. And this year it's Les Lyman from Woodland, California, who joins us now. Les, first of all, congratulations. You tell me all your employees knew about this. They kept it a secret. They did not let the cat out of the bag. You were caught by surprise.
Well, apparently I'm pretty easily duped, and of 200 people that apparently knew about this, and I didn't. I showed up just as happy as always, and I think my wife was my indicator. When she was sitting next to me in the room, I said, "You rarely go to the general business sessions," and so anyway, I said, "What's up?" And so, but I didn't have any time to respond. I was quite honored, very surprised for our company.
Well, I know the things that the criteria for this award has to do with environmental stewardship, community involvement, use of technology, and customer relations. All those are key areas that are looked at when deciding on the winner of this award. And as a recipient, it is quite an honor that you've been chosen among your peers for that. Tell us a little bit about your company. You tell me now you are actually in the Sacramento area for those thinking about the state of California and where you're located. Tell us about your business, because I know you serve a very diverse clientele because of the diversity of California agriculture.
That's correct, Mike. Our clientele, our crop base is, I think, probably is best explained as to what don't we grow, and what don't we grow are soybeans. Pretty much everything else is grown in our marketplace, from cotton to rice to wine grapes to canning tomatoes and pome fruits and nut crops, and the list goes on and on and on. So with that type of diverse crop base and customer base, obviously we have a diverse group of specialists, our PCAs that are consultants and salespeople in various disciplines, service that, experts in certain crops. It's a moving target that never slows down all year round. So it's a year-round business.
We've been talking a lot here at this meeting about sustainability. How do you approach it from your business standpoint, especially in a state like California, the urban pressures that you have, the environmental concerns that are constantly being raised, but also the needs of producers in your area?
Well, being sustainable has been our moniker for really several years now. In fact, it's our tagline on the bottom of our company, Sustainable Solutions. And we've been an advocate of that well in advance of the rest of the crowd, if you will. And a lot of that's out of necessity because of where we do business, which is California, as you just related, is that we are heavily regulated. We're always on the leading edge. We're always 2-3 years in front of the rest of the country, so we're the indicator of what's going to happen generally, and so we need to respond to it. There's a cost of doing business on that also. It's not only our costs it's borne by us, but it's also our growers. I often worry about the competitive disadvantage that they might be against, and it can apply to certain crops, but because of the specialty crops that we grow in California, we make it up with sunshine, water, just the ability, the soils that we have, the ability to grow and produce these things and ship them worldwide. So, but what we do is obviously follow regulations, and we also are progressive enough to where we take the initiative to do things that aren't required. And stay in front of it, to be proactive about how we approach the marketplace and be good stewards of our industry and our business. So anyway, we do a lot of training for not just our people, which is a very heavy investment, if you will, year-round, but we also spend a lot of time bringing in regulators and touring them through our facilities to familiarize them with, these are the people that need to know our business, so we invest our time with them. So, there's a lot of different things that we do to enhance our sustainable survival.
And it seems one of the things that's come out of this meeting as well is the need for those in agriculture doing these things to let consumers know that agriculture is proactive in this area.
That's correct. Yep, and it's an important piece of business. Business of the disciplines that we followed 30 and 40 years ago. Those days are obviously long gone, and we are we live and march to a different drummer today, and especially in a state like California where regulations are so heavy that you can't just complain and follow them around and resist. Basically, you have to get in front of it and stay in front of it.
Are you concerned? Is it a threat of being regulated right out of business?
I worry about that at times. I mean, it ebbs and flows, and there are times that there are certain things that happen or certain threats that come yes, that's always a possibility in an urban state such as California, and politically urban state. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, whenever that transition took place, we moved from the agrarian political influence to the urban political influence, and things shifted. And that's when things like water policies and the politics of water started shifting also. And so all of these things are registered as threats to agriculture, but we are still viable, and at the end of the day, it's still the biggest business in town.
Give us an example of the battle over water in California, and how it, especially when it comes down to who's going to get to use it, agriculture versus urban need.
Well, it is monumental. So the battle for water in California is I would say is of epic proportions now, and is only going to escalate from here. It's almost it's difficult to visualize where this is going to go, but it's being fought on local fronts now, with local water users, where riparian rights, in very small water districts, are being challenged by either the state or by environmental groups or what have you. And then on the statewide basis, such as the water delivery system, that's pitting agriculture against agriculture, the north against the south, if you will, simply because the water comes from the north, it has to flow through the delta, and then it's pumped from there to the south. And then there's the urban agrarian battles that take place. So there's these triangulation of very complex issues over such a very simple commodity, water. But it's all about water.
And that battle we're starting to see being played out in other parts of the country as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, it's again, it's back to an indicator of what's going on in California is going to pop up everywhere else too.
And then not only, as we talked with Les Lyman, the ARA Retailer of the Year from Woodland, California, not only how much water you're going to have to use, but even more scrutiny of what agriculture is putting into that water, and a monitoring of that has led to a lot of the regulation.
That's correct. Such as in the northern part of the state is where there's approximately 500,000 acres of rice grown. Most people don't know that. It's not recognized, but it's a medium grain rice primarily, and it's grown in Northern California. It's a large water user. There's a lot of stuff that goes on to rice, and then there's the water that is obviously there that could have or may have had contaminants in it if it's not held and processed properly. There's regulations in place now, and there's best management practices that the rice industry uses for instance, to where the practices of 30 years ago don't even exist anymore. That water, when it's released, is as cleaner than when it came in. But there's an offset to all that, and the offset is that the testing methods have become so sophisticated, have become so finite and minute, that they're testing in the parts per trillion now, whereas 30 years ago we tested in the parts per million. And things have changed from millions to billions to trillions is a quantum leaps, and that's only going to get more sophisticated. And so they're finding things in water now today they're finding things that they didn't find 30 years ago. And so some of the publicity is misguided because of simply the sophisticated testing methods and what have you. But we're doing a much better job now than we've ever done.
Okay, here's been the question we've been asking here. Can you be both environmentally sustainable and economically sustainable as a business? Obviously, you're doing that. But what about the challenge of being able to do it into the future?
Well, yeah, $64 question. So I always say that if anybody would have told me what has happened in the last 5 years in our business, they've told me 5 years ago how it would be today, I would have said you're nuts. And then stop as of today and look to the future and say, what's going to happen the next 5 years? All we can do is guess. All we know is that it's going to be dramatically different. And things are happening so rapidly that used to take decades to happen. They're happening in very short cycles now. So our objective will be to always keep focused on what our core business is, the profitability of the growers, of our growers, and being good stewards of the products that we purvey to them, whether they're conventional products, organic products, or whatever, to help them continue to advance their success. So anyway, it's a moving target. So, you get up in the morning, you say, which track do we put the train on today here? Because I think things just shifted.
Well, congratulations again, being named Retailer of the Year. Good luck to you.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate it, and it's been an honor to be representative of this industry with this high award.
That's Les Lyman. He is the Ag Retailer of the Year from Woodland, California. This is AgriTalk.